Hello and welcome to One Source Overseas. This is your guide, mentor Sandeep Jadhav, and today we are bringing a very unique opportunity, which is unheard and it's new to the market. It's exclusively coming to Indian students. Study MBBS in Mexico. Now, Mexico, as all of us know, that it's just a connected part of USA, and Mexico. This university is located in Cancun, which is a big city with a population of 1 million, and University of Anuak, Cancun, is a premier institution, number one private university, ranked in top 2% universities delivering medicine education in the world. Let's welcome Ivana. Ivana is an international student coordinator at Anwak University, and she's been the leading force who is processing the application and understanding the credentials of the student and doing all the admission process. Welcome to One Source Overseas.
Thank you so much for the space, Sandeep.
My pleasure. So, moving ahead, this session is just to educate students in Indian fraternity where they would like to understand about this university more. So, we're bringing in all the information straight from Cancun. So, starting with the first question, can you elaborate? Can you give a little bit of detail about Cancun as a place and
Of
university?
Yes, of course. So actually, the ANAWAC is a network of universities, Mexican network of universities that is recognized not just in Mexico but in other parts of the world as well. And it's in Mexico in particular, as you mentioned, we're ranked in the first three positions of private universities for all of our programs, and we're the probably number one university in medicine. So with this English degree. So yes, that's a little bit about the background, but in particular about Cancun. The government itself is investing in the southeast part of the country, so it keeps growing and growing, and mainly in this medicine field, because most of the tourism that we receive right now is because of the procedures that they want to get in. I mean, in specific in Mexico. So yes.
All right. So since we all know that Mexico is a Spanish spoken language, it's an official language in Mexico. But is this MBBS program is taught in English? Is entirely
It's
taught?
100% in English. We are a touristic destination, and that's why we are demanding, or the tourists are demanding, on more bilingual professionals. So that's why NAWAC started this program 100% in English.
Great. And what is the total duration of this program?
6 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And is the curriculum of MBBS is it US based curriculum, or is it international?
It's I would say it's international, because we follow the Mexican national curriculum in order to be accredited by the Ministry of the Health Ministry. But since we also offer the opportunity for the student to go to United States, it also has accreditation of the ESFMG. So yes, we follow the curriculums at the same time, the US and Mexican.
Great. So having that accreditation of US, does that also imply that the curriculum is also US based and
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So do we provide an USMLE preparation program?
Yes. Throughout this 6 years, they have to follow very specific guidelines in order to pass every single step. So yes, there is preparation from day one, since they have to go through different steps throughout those 6 years.
Right. And what would be the student faculty ratio at?
So right now, per class, we have 20 students, more or less, 20 students per teacher. So yes.
Per teacher. Okay, that's a good decent ratio for MBBS, because you know the especially in MBBS you need to have a close connect with student, and the quality of education deters when the student faculty ratio is huge.
Right. Actually, one of our we are very personalized in every single program that we have, so that's why we cannot pass that ratio.
Great. Can you tell our Indian students what is the eligibility of getting admissions into the MBBS program?
So actually, I mean, we have our own admission process. So there are like minimum requirements, of course, passing the first 11th years in order to start an application, must complete the high school diploma, of course. And they have to go through our own admission test, which is divided, I mean, similar to an IELTS, but not the IELTS.
Okay.
It's not required, it's not mandatory. So it's basically communication skills and a basic level of mathematics. And an interview, of course. After that, it's a pre-med course, which is a 5-week duration course. Everything online, they must pass it. It's basically divided in classes and tests. So yes, it's a combination of both.
Okay. Right. So this 5-week course is an online course, you say?
100%, yes. English, in English.
Okay. And a student should do it in Mexico, or can they do it in?
They do it here in India, in their times, at their moments, because we have a difference of 10.5 hours. So they do it at their own pace. Yes.
Okay. And is NEET a mandatory requirement to get admission at the university?
To enter the university for the entrance, it's not required, but they're looking to return to India, yes.
Right. So as it is, the university don't require NEET as a mandatory qualification, but the student who wants to come back to India and give the FMG, they would necessarily
that is correct.
Require it. All right. So what is the timeline of admission and the complete procedure to be done?
If for example, if they decide to start today, they would get their admission result by in 15 days.
Okay.
So that's the maximum time we can give a student an admission offer.
The most important question that Indian students would always want to ask you is, what is the total tuition fees for the 6 year of program that comes to?
So for the 6 years would be $73,000 US.
$73,000. So we'll be looking at an investment of anywhere between 70 to 75 lakhs on the tuition fees. What would be the additional living cost per year that a student might end up spending?
Okay, sure. So it always depends. I always say that it always depends, but usually an average, it's between per year $4,800 US.
All right, so it's like somewhere close to 4.5 lakhs per year of living expense, which includes accommodation, food, transportation, and
services, everything that they
Okay. Is there a payment plan, or like the student has to pay semester-wise, yearly?
That's a really good question, because for us it's per month. So we usually we calculate the semester, and they can divide that into 5 different payments.
Okay.
So every semester they pay the registration and 5 monthly payments. Okay. So it's not mandatory for them to pay full year.
Okay, that's something that's different to compare to other universities, because generally it's a yearly fees that students end up paying most of the universities. Great. Then any scholarship or financial aid program that we run for Indian students who are academically bright, underprivileged?
Yes, actually we do have scholarships that they go from 5% all the way to 70%. And we take into account 3 things in order to grant one scholarship. The first one is in general, the high school transcript that they provide, the grades, the GPA. Then we take into account the scores that they had on their exam, on our own admission exam. Okay. And the third one is the socioeconomic background that the family has. So based on those 3 things, we can provide
scholarships.
A scholarship. Yes.
Okay. What about the clinical rotations? Like, how does the clinical rotations takes place? Does that has to do only with the Mexican hospitals, or do we also send students for internships?
Right. So we have actually different options, not just Mexican hospitals. They can go to United States hospitals. So we have agreements with different hospitals all over US. We mainly have students applying to hospitals in Florida, in Texas, and in California. But if they want to apply to any other state, they can. And I mean, we guide them through that process. So it doesn't matter where they want to go. We always find the pathway or the right choice.
Okay, so they have wide range of choices for the internship. Okay, and that says Florida, Texas, and California is also
Those are like top three states because
states.
usually those are the hospitals that require not just English professionals but also Spanish professionals because
Mhm.
we're in the border. So,
Right. So, a little bit about see, when it comes to MBBS admission, the students are more concerned about the accreditations, about the recognition of the
Mhm.
universities. So, can you list for us what kind of accreditations we have?
Sure. So the very first one would be the ESFMG. We are as well in the World Directory of Medical Schools.
Okay.
So in that case, in order to be recognized by the ESFMG, we must be there. And
Okay.
also, we have other accreditations, like for the Latin American Heart Association, the Caribbean and the Latin American Medical Schools,
Okay.
and pretty much all of our educators must as well be accredited by the International Medical
Yeah.
Association. So
That's quite a lot of
yes.
accreditation. Okay, that's great. But say, for example, if Indian students want to study there
Mhm.
and they want to come and write an FMG examination back here in India, how comfortable they would be, considering that they have already studied in Mexico? How comfortable or how easy or difficult would it be for them to clear the FMG examination on your experience?
So right now, I mean, for the EFMG,
Mhm.
we would need to. I would compare it to the USMLE as well, because right now we have 80% of the students passing, so that's a really good
That's a
ratio.
very good percentage,
Hmm.
80%. So, most of the students, even the students who are watching this, I would like to bring to your notice that when you're going to look at the FMG passing rate for the universities globally, you wouldn't find anything more than 33%. The reason why is that if the numbers are huge, like if 500 students are appearing from a particular university for an FMG examination, uh, maybe 100 or 150 max will clear that particular examination. So you need to ensure that you're going to a university where uh, the percentage of FMG clearance is really high. But the students who are looking to have their careers internationally, 80% is a very good number. So it's almost like three times of what an FMG clearance ratio is. So in case if you want to become a doctor, you want to practice in US, you want to do your USMLE and go to US for your post graduation. So there's another fight in India. Once the student does their MBBS, the first fight starts with their FMG examination. So, the FMG ratio, passing ratio is around 20 to 30% max. 30 is huge and very few university offer that, but it's always below 20%. All
Mm.
right. So if the student comes in that 20%, then he has to start preparing for PG next.
Mm.
So for a post graduation.
Mhm.
And again, the passing rate is really low.
Okay.
So, ideally speaking, students who are aspiring to become a doctor and they want to practice in India, just doing MBBS and coming back to India is not a great choice for you. So, I would recommend that if you go to US, clear your USMLE, go to US, practice, do your post graduation there. It's a paid internship, paid stipend while you do your post graduation. And once you're a postgraduate doctor in US, they don't require any licensing exam back here in India. They're recognized as a doctor. So this comes as a savior that if you're planning for MBBS, don't just plan for MBBS, plan for postgraduate degree, right? So how is it living in Cancun as a place?
Mhm.
Like, I've heard that a lot of beaches, and I love the music.
Mhm.
The Mexican music is great, and so many more things to do there. So, would you like to elaborate on students, how students can enjoy the student life along with this
Sure.
education?
So, I mean, everyone, it doesn't matter where they study medicine, the student that goes to the med program, it's a little bit difficult to enjoy the same way
True that.
because it's very, I mean, you need to be into the studies, but still the life, it's a touristic place. So yes, there's a lot of beaches. It is a hot weather, so it's very similar to here.
Okay.
And I mean, in general in India. So expect that we have a constant summer there. But usually, a schedule of a student, I mean, for the very first year, they can take advantage of that. They can get to know more about the Mexican Caribbean. It's a very touristic place. It's a very connected to nature, which is something that I find similar to India as well. So I think it's not that a big change if you come from here. Of course, the language would be something that we always work on, because I mean, we offer Spanish courses. It's not mandatory, but for the daily basis, I would recommend them to. But in general, it has a lot of activities in general, like to get to know the different areas. We have like these pools, nature pools that are called cenotes. They can go around, they can see them, they're free. So, I mean, the day-to-day life, it's really cool. It's fun.
Right. So, also, like most of the Indian students are concerned about, or the parents are concerned about the accommodations, the housing. How does Cancun University support international med students?
So actually, we have an international student support center, which we call CAF. And CAF is the best team of the whole university, because we assist the student in every single step of the way to find accommodation. We have options for all the type of budgets. So if they're looking for something closer to the university, we actually have on-campus accommodation, and we have the opportunities outside the campus as well. So that ranges between $250 US all the way up until whatever they want to invest. So if they decide to stay outside the campus, we do offer school transportation, which goes all different parts of the city, so they don't have to worry about that. And yes, as well, wherever they need us, we do have like any specific advisor for housing options and transportation as well.
And also from a parent's perspective, like how safe is it for a student who are like probably at the age of 17 or 18 to come and study in a totally new environment, and how does the university ensures that the students are safe in the campus and around the city?
So, well, since we're in a very touristic destination, we must have a very secure environment in general for all of the tourists that arrive to Cancun. So, in general, in Cancun terms, we do have a very safe environment, and the university itself is in the best area of the whole city. So they don't have to worry about that. And in specific, when they arrive to campus, we have this team, which is CAF. They assist them throughout the first year in order to ensure that they are adapting well to the city, to our culture, and to the university. So they have to go through mentorings, not just with CAP, but also with their coordinations, the school's coordinators. So, I mean, they receive different type of sessions in order to make sure that they are well as a person and well as a student. So we do care about that.
Great pastoral care for international students. That is something that's really important. Now, coming down to the student visa.
Yes.
So, how does the visa things work? Like, do they get the complete 6-year visa? What kind of visa category they apply for?
Okay, so for the Mexican visa, it applies a little bit different than any other countries. So they usually, when they get their admission offer, that's when we start the visa process, because that's one of the requirements to get the visa, the admission letter. So after the student gets admitted, they go for a temporary residence student visa, which is granted for 1 year. After they enter the country as a student, we swap that visa into a permanent resident, a temporary resident card, which is renewed every year with the CAF center. So they don't have to worry about that.
And say, for example, if the student has already cleared the MBBS degree and they have their license and they're practicing in Mexico as a doctor, what if they wish to stay in Mexico for longer, or they want to practice there? What kind of visa provisions are there?
So they actually, after the Mexican laws are made that after someone stays for more than 5 years in the country, they can ask or request a permanent residency. So since the program lasts 6 years, they qualify perfectly to stay as a permanent resident in Mexico. So usually that's what most of the international students do. They usually stay, they keep working in Mexico, and they do their postgraduate programs as well there. So
So
just by
those
passing,
6 years are counted
Yes.
towards the permanent residency.
yes,
Okay.
correct.
Nice. And does university also supports in terms of the student visa and immigration? Do university provide any kind of support in that?
Yes,
context?
all the counseling, we do have lawyers as well working for us.
Okay.
So everything related to migration or migratory regulations or anything that is required, we do have lawyers. So everything goes through
Okay.
them. So yes, it's part of our service with
Okay.
no cost. So they don't have to worry about that.
Great, and a great student life support coming with the university team, CAF team.
Yes.
So everything is going to be smooth and easy for you guys. Coming down to the postgraduate opportunity, now this is the last concern that any international Indian student would looking forward to find answers. And about the postgraduate opportunities, what are the options considering postgraduate opportunities in Mexico, in USA, back in India?
Okay. So, I mean, they have different options. So there's a range. The first one, if they decide to stay in Mexico, they can. They can pursue a postgraduate in Mexico. They can specialize in Mexico. And that would depend on what they want to do, right? So the second one, it would be going to United States after they finish their program in Mexico. They go to US, they apply for their residency there. They can continue as well their postgraduate programs. That would depend on each student as well. And if they want to return to India, I mean, as well, they would need to go through the process that the EFMG requires and the
Correct.
Indian government requires. Yes.
And any entrance examinations that is required to get a postgraduate seat in Mexico?
Yes, there is
What is
one.
it called?
It's called in Spanish ENARM, which
Okay.
stands for Specialized and Residence Program for Medicine. I mean, I would need to check on the translation, but it's
Right.
basically to apply and specialize in Mexico. So you can stay, and I mean, you must pass that exam, which I mean, pretty much 80% of the students as well pass them.
Okay.
The other 20%, if they don't pass it, is because 10% don't pass that exam, and the other 10% is usually because they're pursuing another type of program. More related like to administration of health,
Healthcare management and
correct.
stuff. So 90%, almost 90%, we do consider that
Right.
they will be writing and they will be clearing.
Correct.
The 10% would.
Yes.
Okay, that's a very generous ratio, I would say.
Yes.
Anything in Spanish that you want to tell to student to join? I would want you to say it in Spanish that please join Cancun University for your MBBS program and let us be, your guide in becoming an international doctor.
All right, in Spanish then.
Yes.
Los invito a que participen, a que apliquen a la universidad, que tengan otra opción. Nos encantaría hacer no solamente una opción, nos encantaría hacer su casa. Nos encantaría hacer el lugar en el que se vuelve sus estudios realidad y este sueño realidad. Entonces, hagan lo posible, lo hacemos igual en conjunto, pues con OneSource Overseas y es parte de nuestra familia Nahuac.
I understood OneSource Overseas, so I'm sure what she recommends. And that was great. And I really like the way the Spanish language is really cute, isn't it, guys? So you guys have to become an international doctor, come to ANVAC Cancun University and pursue your medical course here. We recommend it, we endorse it. Do send in your queries, your messages on our video, on our channel, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ivana, for such a wonderful session.
Muchas gracias, Sandeep. Thank you so much for the space.